Hello and welcome to Black Dragon Gaming. My name is Katakashira, but all my friends call me Cat, and you can too. Today is, of course, Weeb Wednesday with Mal,
Hi.
as it always is on Wednesdays these days. Anyway,
Yep.
how you doing, Mal?
I'm doing all right. So I did share the story on the Umineko episode, but I imagine there isn't entirely overlap. So I'm going to give this
Yeah, no,
story
100% at
again.
least. Yes, go ahead.
This is the pen story.
Oh yes, okay. I know what you're about to say. Go ahead.
So I decided I wanted a fountain pen because they're, environmentally friendly and they look good.
They're cool.
So I go looking on, online stores for them. And while looking for pens, I stumbled upon the fact there is a far-right pen company.
Which is really weird. It's pens. What the fuck are you gonna, really?
Yeah, because the pens themselves were fine. They just looked like fucking
I'm sure
pens.
they may even be high quality, but
yeah.
Come on.
So I get them, and then I'm looking for ink from the same company, because why the hell not? And then I notice there is a lot of American nationalist imagery. But I think, well, maybe they're just, really pushing that made in the USA thing, because nothing is necessarily egregious upon first glance. But I'm suspicious enough to Google. And I look, and apparently they had anti-Semitic stuff. They've got, Red Scare kind of stuff too. And I'm like, what?
The Red Scare shit is the stuff that always confuses me the most. I just genuinely don't understand it. How it's persisted to the modern day. I mean, of course I understand where it came from, in the 60s and 70s and 80s and all that shit. But come on. What are you guys still doing? We no longer have a communist enemy. Shut up. Sit down.
Yeah, seriously. Granted, they'll say, oh, but China isn't actually even the communism version of communism that they had anymore.
Yeah, you cannot look at modern day China without knowing that it's China and tell me that country is at all communist in any fucking way.
Yeah, it's not even Maoist.
It's so hardcore capitalist that it may even have America beat for that.
Yeah, absolutely. It has less worker
the top
protections.
3 contenders for the top 3 contenders on the planet for fucked up capitalist countries are America, China, and Japan.
Yeah. Granted, I would also factor in South Korea there.
Oh yes, absolutely.
But yeah, just
I think a lot of Korea's problems are not to do with capitalism anyway. It's more just weird fucking misogyny and shit.
Yeah.
Which there's also, don't get me wrong, there's also the black companies and everything. They also exist in Korea.
That's not just absolutely.
The trifecta thing.
The other issue is South Korea actually has megacorps in a greater fashion than we do, even.
Which is kind of ridiculous because we already have megacorps. I don't remember if I told you about this before, but several years ago, someone was trying, a company lobbied to get extraterritorial rights in Arizona.
Wow.
For those of you who don't know what that means that anything, if an entity is given extraterritorial rights, that means that they become the law on their property, period. You cannot enforce state law on that property anymore.
Yep.
They get to make their own laws. This is the company town kind of shit. That's extraterritoriality.
Yep. But yeah, basically, you'll get companies in South Korea that do everything and just literally everything, every facet of society.
Oh, I know. Samsung, for example.
Yeah, Samsung is big on there.
Because Samsung's so big that it's all over the fucking planet.
Yeah. And yeah, Samsung, literally does everything from housing to food to just way more than you would expect. since we know it as like the phone and maybe electronics company.
Yeah, it's the electronics company in general over here. Like that's it. But no, it's all kinds of shit over there. I
But
think they called it. I'm gonna butcher this pronunciation because I don't know how to speak Korean,
mhm,
but I'm pretty sure they call them gables,
mhm,
something like that.
something like that. So yeah,
Let's see.
it's just like, all right.
Chable, not gable. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. Uh, yeah, so you've been sculpting a Dunmer face.
Two different Elder Scrolls. Okay, that's what I was trying to say. Elder Scrolls elf faces. I first did uh, the snow elf that I have. I don't think I actually sent you that picture, did I? Let me scroll back.
Hmm,
I didn't. I sent you a screenshot of her fucking daughter sleeping with a loaf of bread, but I didn't send you the actual like the whole reason I was playing that character at the time. Hold on a second. Let me copy image from somewhere else. Here you go. Anyway, I spent like 3 to 4 hours doing that this morning, and then I was going to go to bed right after that, but my housemate was just like, "My insomnia is acting up. Can you stay up longer to like wake me up so make sure I get to work and everything?" I'm like, "Fuck, okay, I guess." I don't know what that's gonna do to me, but I can do that. Yeah, it's pretty easy to stay up till whatever fucking time to wake you up. I just it's gonna fuck me up, and I just don't know how bad. Uh, so I haven't slept in over 24 hours because of that. But to keep myself awake for all of that, I started sculpting a Dunmer face as well, and I actually did pretty fucking well, I think.
yeah, I think that looks pretty fucking good.
The only complaint I have about these elf faces that I did is that there's no forehead ridge. But
Yeah,
I can't actually like make a forehead ridge in the sculpting program that like I have.
gotcha.
It's like a texture that's added over top, right? So
Right.
if the base face that I use, the base skeletal face that I use, does not have the texture over top, I just can't make a forehead ridge. It's like when I was playing ESO and I made my Dunmer there, I managed to keep the forehead ridge, but that's also because like it's a completely different graphical engine. Skyrim is not that advanced, even with all the balance. So
Hmm.
I did also find a lot of cool like armor mods and shit like that. I think I've been sending them to you.
Yeah,
I think maybe I just thought about doing it, but I'm pretty sure I did.
you did show me at least the one person's catalog that did a lot of armors and monsters and things. You sent me the one armor that you're like, oh yeah, this might be a new Dawn Guard look.
Yeah, I need to figure out how to make Requiem patches so I can like patch that to be what it should be, because that armor value is about the same as scale, which is not good.
Mm,
I mean, it's good, but it's like mid game,
right.
it's not gonna keep your ass alive for very much longer after that. Because like the big thing for Requiem patches, for those of you who do not play Requiem, which most people don't, most people who even play Skyrim don't, because like, there are other more popular fucking overhaul mods. Um, the way that the patches work is they assign new values to the damage and armor values of like whatever the hell it is, whether it's armor or weapons or what have you, based on the creation kit tags
Mm,
of the armor. But a lot of modders don't fucking do that. And in a lot of cases, it's because they want the player to be able to access the armor or weapon very early on, because it's supposed to be, just like, hey, here you go, have an outfit sort of deal. Not here, I want to add this to the entire world kind of thing. So they don't get the perks and tags on it, because that means that you need that specific smithing trait to actually be able to make it.
Yeah.
But the way Requiem works is it works based off of that tag specifically. So a lot of things just don't work with Requiem because of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like there's definitely so many things that you need to do to patch it.
Yeah. Bigger armor mods are probably out of my purview, like immersive armors. I'm never gonna patch that myself. Fuck that. That's too annoying. But I could patch like a single armor or something like that. That'd
Yeah,
be fine.
like a single armor for sure. Good. Especially if all you need to do is learn how to add the tags.
Yeah, I just gotta find like which field to put the right tag in, right? Apparently it's pretty simple, just tedious as fuck to do it for a lot of armors. Which makes sense. But anyhow, yesterday on stream we were doing nothing but fighting Radon for 4 hours. Promised Consort Radon. I I hate that. I hate that fight a lot.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think it's like lore. I said this yesterday, but lore wise, it's fine. I don't see a problem with the lore at all. But like mechanically, that fight fucking sucks. I hate it. And it's not even like mad because bad because I'm actually pretty fucking good at the like Souls games. All right, I have several thousands of hours across all the Souls games,
Yeah,
and I've beaten like most of them several times.
I think the problem is that the team there at FromSoft thinks they have to outdo themselves on difficulty,
Yeah, they really don't.
and they
Like it's
don't.
perfect the way it is. You don't need to up it, right?
Yeah, you don't
Like
need to up it.
the
Just
Halig tree was pushing it. Fucking Promise Consort Radon is way past that line.
yeah, like you don't need to do that. You don't need to make the difficulty more. You just
Like I
need.
don't mind. I don't mind new Souls games feeling easy to me. I don't care. I just like the fucking flow of the combat, right? Like it's still satisfying even if it's easy.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it won't be easy at first because you're gonna get. You need to get used to their new move sets, whatever those new move sets are. But you don't need to. You can make new move sets. You just don't need to make those move sets harder than last time. Oh, the reason Gwyn in Dark Souls 1 is interesting is because he's easy. He's been reduced.
Yeah, it was the same thing for King Alon as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. That
The
makes
actual
sense.
final boss, and he was literally just like a slime that'll slap you around. You
Yeah.
can die to him if you're not like if you're like too reckless about it, but like, come on.
But yeah, absolutely. Like, you can have things be easier than other things. And it's just one of those things where you don't need to seek more mechanical difficulty, just make mechanics interesting.
Yeah, just interesting mechanics, interesting flow. That's all I really cared about, right?
Yeah. Because
And there's more to satisfying combat than challenge. Of course, challenge can be a part of it for sure, but there's also like sound design, hit feedback,
yeah, absolutely.
animation speed.
That's, and, uh, no, no issue with people who enjoy it, but I couldn't get into Monster Hunter because
Yeah,
I
I don't like Boss Hunter.
I don't like how little hit feedback you get. Which, I mean, I get it. You are a person fighting a potentially giant monster. Like, I understand the design decision, but personally, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah, like I definitely understand it. I get it. I just don't like it. I don't think it's like a bad decision. I just personally do not like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, I guess more with the pen thing, I did get another slightly pricier pen that's on the way, and new ink,
Yeah.
which I showed you the ink. It's based on Hades, just a mythological figure, uh, and it
Yeah.
and it has some blue speckles in it. It's a black ink with blue speckles.
It's kind of nice.
Because I was like, why not? The first time I bought a pen, it was from Amazon, but this one I actually got from a pen company that does not sell Noodler.
Right on.
Because I'm like, you know what? I'm going to. Too many of the bigger ones apparently still sell Noodler shit. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to support the store that's still open and not selling their shit.
Noodler being the bad company, I assume.
Yeah, Noodler being the far right company. But yeah, I guess. Well, let's see.
We have a pick of 3. Choose one.
Give me heads or tails.
Fucking tails.
All right, we're doing Ranma first.
All right, let me swap over my screen real quick. On the cover. Here we go. All right.
So as I've kind of spoiled already, the situation with Shampoo is that under her laws, if she loses to a man, she has to marry him. And she's all for the idea.
Every
Akane.
episode that comes out and that I watch, I am more and more convinced and vindicated by like what happens in it. In my earlier statements of like these people are just truly awful human beings.
Yeah.
Like all of them.
Yeah.
None of them are good people.
Like varying degrees of awful. Because Rama's at least the kind of awful where he's like, well, shit, something bad's happening right in front of me. I can't actually do nothing.
Yeah, jerk with a heart of gold mostly. He's just sort of immature and
yeah, like
kind of mean sometimes.
Ranma and Akane are both just very immature people, which is fine, honestly, for what they are.
Yeah, they're like fucking 16 or 17 or some shit, right? So
yeah,
it's fine.
So, the episode starts where the last episode ended with Shampoo kissing Ranma. And, of course, Akane is pissed at Ranma. Both because, fucking misogyny, but also she's not good with her feelings. Her dad even calls it out, even if he went out the moment she glared at him.
Yeah. Fucking little baby creature.
Yeah, seriously, like, he's such a fucking wimp. It's kind of weird to think that he's supposed to be Genma's peer. Because, say what you will about Genma, he will fight a motherfucker.
Yeah, I think Tendo is probably his peer in martial skill, not necessarily martial bravery, right?
Clearly. But yeah, just big baby man constantly cries. Yeah.
I still don't understand why Ranma has not like told Akane about fucking Ryoga being P-chan.
Yeah, like, fuck the bro code at this point, Ranma. You can just tell her.
Yeah, like you warn him though, like the once or the twice to be like, hey, bro code, don't do that. That's fucked up and creepy. And
Yeah.
like once he acknowledges that and like it still keeps doing it, no, just tell her. Just tell Akane.
Yeah, just one of you tell Akane, damn it. Because Ryoga gets all flustered because in a conversation that Ranma and Akane were having, she goes, well, why are you jealous of a pig? And, I kind of like Ryoga's devil and angel going on.
Yeah, although that's like it's a classic joke, but like it wasn't classic when it was written, right?
Yeah. And just the fact that neither one of them are good people or, saying good things. One of them is saying, oh, the devil is saying, oh, go home wreck right now. And the angel is saying, no, just wait for Shampoo to kill Ranma.
Take advantage of like her weakness. Because that's definitely not like an awful thing to do at all.
Yeah.
Fucking Ryoga, dude.
Yeah, and Ryoga's like, oh, I'm just gonna go away on a journey because all you see me as is your pet. Well, of course she does, because you don't tell her who you are.
Yeah, and like at this point, it's got like because you didn't say it earlier, it's gonna have a lot of really bad fallout. But like you gotta deal with that because you're being a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, like this is just going to keep compounding.
The longer this goes on, the worse it's going to be when she finds out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, like stupid idiot logic is going to say, "It's like, oh, then let's make sure she never finds out." Like, no, this is not real life. You cannot actually keep a lie up in a fiction forever.
Yeah, no, that's going to occur at some point. I don't know when, but I feel like it has to occur at some point. That you'll finally get discovered. And the longer you hold out, the more she's going to hate you for it. And she's already not a particularly forgiving person.
Yeah. I'm honestly concerned about like Kane's observational skills as well because like she just hasn't noticed somehow.
Yeah. I think that's just, we're going to have to deal with the fact of people not realizing.
I don't know. Maybe she's just got like a blind spot for cute piglets or something. I don't know.
Maybe. Oh, and then Shampoo finding Ryoga as Pichan and serving him up, but not actually having killed him. Like, yeah, you didn't know that was a person, but also you were going to serve the rawest of pork to Ranma in a bento.
Still living, still squealing.
Yeah, I don't think that's how you cook. And we find out she's a good cook.
She was probably doing that very specifically to piss Akane off. To have an excuse to fight her.
I guess.
But, like, Shampoo is not very talkative, at least not yet. So, we
Yeah.
don't know. We don't know if that's actually what her plan was.
Yeah, which I do appreciate. They just have her say little rather than speaking in broken Japanese. Because both in the Japanese and in the English in the original, she spoke in broken language and was kind of played up a bit to make her seem not quite bright. But this feels more like, yeah, she's, one-track mind, and she's still getting a grasp of the language, but she's not, ignorant necessarily.
I think ignorant isn't exactly the right word for her. She is ignorant of the language.
Yeah. Or I should say deficient as a person. She's just literally ignorant of the language.
Yeah, she's not any more dull than any of the other characters, so.
Yeah. Just very one-track mind. Because she literally calls him my husband in Mandarin.
Yeah, which there was a little translation scene for that.
Yeah. Someone looking up
Hibiki, it was the other sister.
Yeah, Nabiki and Kasumi.
Nabiki, there we go. I combined their names on accident. Oh my god. It doesn't help that Hibiki is actually a Japanese name too. Like
Yeah. Oh,
its
yeah.
actual names are just
Absolutely.
like random syllables I mashed together. Fuck. Actually, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a character named Hibiki in How Heavy Are the Dumbbells That You Lift.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I'm pretty sure that's actually the main character. It's Hibiki. I'm surprised that came to me in my sleep deprived state. Let's see. Heavy.
But
Yes,
yeah.
it is the main character.
So we deal with Akane after that wanting to, fight Shampoo because Shampoo tried to kill her pig. And Shampoo gives her the kiss of death.
And Shampoo is actually like a very good fighter, even better than Akane. It's just that, yes, Ranma trashed her, but like it's also Ranma.
Yeah,
Ranma trashes everyone.
Yeah, Ranma is, again, just a savant when it comes to martial arts. So they go ahead and Ranma gets knocked out of a window by Akane.
I
And
do appreciate that Akane can still get like hits in on him when he's not, when he doesn't have his guard up, right?
yeah, exactly, which makes sense. No matter how good
I
you
think
are, if
that's
you're
good
not
shit.
paying attention, So, gets knocked out the window. Then he has to scramble to find them, and by the time he finds them, Akane has been knocked out cold on her ass.
And of course, we got an amnesia arc coming up, but it wasn't a cliche when it was written, so I'm trying to give it a pass in my brain, but I could feel my soul curl up and die as soon as I saw those words play across the screen.
Yeah, do I know you?
It's like, who are you? Like, oh, fucking, oh, god damn it!
Yeah, so that
Why?
will.
I know it's the trope setter. I know it is, but damn it!
Yeah. So that will probably be. Resolving that will probably be how they wrap up the cour until next year. Because I think it'll probably come out in January, if not February.
A fair assumption, but I'm not sure you're correct on that. So a lot of these things take like damn near a year or actually a year to have the second core come out lately, which is
Yeah.
what's happening with solo leveling right now. When's that second core coming out? Okay, in a month. Cool.
Yep, I did
Also, I
know.
need
Yeah.
another captioner link.
Alrighty. Lovely.
Right. There we go. We're set. Reconnected and everything. It's kind of odd how the first couple episodes of Ranma had a lot to talk about, but each subsequent one has had less and less. It's just, it's Ranma. You already know what to expect if you're following along this far.
Yeah. So it's mainly our opinions on the tropes and the sort of like character appearances and things. Like, we'll have a bit more to talk about when another character shows up, because it'll deal more with how Ranma deals with gender both well and not so well.
That will be interesting, yes.
All right. So, unless you have anything else to add, I think all guys mixer.
All right, let's get the girls up on screen. Here we go. The girls. Look at them. They are very handsome.
Yes, they are very
Hagi
handsome.
and Kohaku continue to be like completely useless at dating.
I said it on social media, but I'll say it here too. Hagi has the object permanence of Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
Face blindness.
Yep. Because he keeps feeling like he's two-timing Kohaku with Kohaku. And it's just, no.
I think it might be because he never opens his fucking eyes.
Yeah, he has a perpetual Brock face. But yeah, he feels like he's two-timing, which, bro, you're just bisexual. Get over it.
Yeah, you're either bisexual or you're Kohaku sexual. Like either way, come on.
Yeah. And of course you think of her, when you think of Kohaku, you think of her in her work outfit, because that's what she wears most of the times you see her, and it's how you met her first.
Yeah, like 80% of the time you see her hockey, it's in her work outfit. Because she's always fucking working. Just like every other human being on the goddamn planet. Come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, so I just kind of shake my head at that. Because, come on, you two. You should both understand. At this point, Kohaku, you need to understand he finds you attractive.
That's why he's nervous.
Yeah,
Although
that's why he's
I know what it's like to get in your own head about that kind of thing. So, like, I don't really put too much blame on Haku for the situation. It's mostly Hagi and his inability to actually fucking speak.
Yeah, his inability to communicate his emotions, which, yeah, I mean that's kind of the problem. Like that is the boss when it comes to relationships, is if you can't communicate what your wants, feelings, and needs are. It's just,
God damn it, Hagi.
you know, I just dislike misunderstanding plots.
Oh, so do I.
So getting
Asagi and Fuji, however, continue to be like the most perfect couple ever because like there's no awkwardness between them at all or any miscommunication at all.
Yeah, the only
because
thing
Asagi is just Asagi.
Yeah, the only thing Fuji keeps him from is the sexual nature of her work. Of her dotion.
That's, you know what, that's fair, I think, because like you don't want to like just spring that on someone.
Yeah, though, like
give him a fucking warning first or something.
Yeah, though you're gonna have to like tell him eventually, because I also assume at some point, like, you might want that relationship to actually be sexual and not just sexual tension.
Can you even have sexual tension with someone like Asagi? Fuck, dude.
Well, at the very least, she had some certain feelings about him grabbing her.
This is true. You can have, like, I'm not saying anything like you can't have feelings about it, but like sexual tension with a man like Asagi is just like, I don't know. Is he even capable of having like tension of any kind?
Well, yeah, it's one-sided tension because like he's just open and honest with everything and anything.
Although he does also seem to be like very ignorant of what romance is at all and what attraction is, because like he's just, you can tell that their relationship is not just friends, but he is just acting like it's friends all the time, constantly.
Yeah.
Because he's a fucking golden retriever.
Yeah, very true. So getting into the actual meat of the episode, Hagi's lamenting his weird feelings of feeling like he's two-timing with the same person when Kohaku calls him and it's like, hey, I need some help here. And it turns out Kohaku's uncle runs a beachside restaurant and they need people to actually show up and deal with the customers, which initially was just, oh, hey, let's deal with a few customers who make do with a part-timer being missing. But Suo arriving in Prince Regalia.
That's a good joke. I like that.
And, causes there to be far more customers.
Because of course it does. Like, Fuji, Suo, and Kohaku all show up in their work outfits, which are explicitly designed. And their personas as well. They are doing their work personas as well, by the way. It's not just their outfits. But they show up in the work outfits with work personas and everything, which are all explicitly designed to be attractive.
Yeah, not work outfits exactly, but they show up with the wigs, essentially, and any makeup they happen to do for that.
Which I'm sure there is a fair bit.
Because they're basically wearing beach shirts and shorts.
Oh my god, the fucking captioner died again. What is going on today?
I do not know.
This is cruel and unusual punishment, captioner. Please stop.
Yeah, and this is the only captioner I know of that has, labels for two separate people.
Brutal. Yeah, my perception is very low right now, okay? Please stop this captioner. At some point you're gonna die and I'm not gonna notice for 30 minutes.
So yeah, they kind of deal with that. Huggy is still wrestling with his emotions, trying to involve himself with Kohaku, but being overprotective because he thinks that's how relationships should go.
Or he underestimates how much she has to deal with this kind of thing already, and how skilled she is at dealing with it.
Yeah. But he kind of wants to feel useful to Kohaku specifically. And that's not necessary for relationships. I mean,
I think that's an understandable emotion, right? You want to feel like you're actually helping the other person somehow.
Yeah, that's true. It's an understandable emotion to have, but also understand your presence can be enough.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to do something to be helpful to a person.
Yeah.
Turns out humans are very social as a species. Who knew?
Yeah. This isn't romantic, but I've had family members and people around me go oh, I want to go do things with you, but I don't have money. And I'm like, you don't need to spend money on me. And you don't, or a lot of money, if you want to spend money on me. We could literally go get a $1 burger and sit somewhere nice.
That is genuinely something that I used to do. Is when Tyr and I lived together, for our birthday, what we did is we just went on a long drive. Eventually, ended up at a gas station, bought $20 worth of gas station food. Tacos, the shitty sandwiches that they have.
Yeah,
and, burgers and chicken burgers and all that shit, and just had that while we were just driving around.
Yeah, absolutely. Just you
can. All it takes.
Yeah, you can do small things. A handwritten card and $5 can be enough.
Of course, this depends on the person in your relationship with them, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends on the person, what their needs are, and, what their wants are, but...
material bribes only work for me if I already like you. If I don't like you, I won't appreciate it. I'll take it, because I'm not going to turn down free shit, but I'm not going to like you more because of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, it depends on your relationship. So.
Yeah, but yeah,
if your relationship with someone is drinking or whatever, or partying or social gatherings, then that's probably what you can do to make them happy, that kind of thing.
Right? Yeah, and you can go do those things. You can learn from those likes and go okay, yeah, if they like drinking and partying, would it be nice for me to get them, this kind of, sake or this kind of vodka, whatever they like.
Mm-hmm.
and try something new with them because they like new experiences. But you don't need, you don't need to spend a lot of money on somebody, and you don't need to be so directly like useful. You're in you're in a relationship. You're not an employee.
Yeah, you're not under contract here. Like, you can just be, and that is okay. Humans all need some time to just be, including people like me. In fact, that's what I mostly need, like all the time, is to just be.
Yeah.
Leave me the fuck alone. Do not perceive me. I find it interesting, though, by the way, that no matter how big a stream gets, it never triggers my introversion, like, at all.
Ah, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't know why. I can have like 10 people in a call and then have fucking 50 people in chat, and it doesn't bother me. As soon as I have more than 3 people in a room with me at one time, though, in real life, I'm out. I'm gone. Fuck you.
Yeah, that makes some sense. I can feel that.
That's too much. Leave me alone.
So they finish up the restaurant stuff, and then Kohaku's uncle, I think it was, gives them
Yeah,
a
the
bunch
manager
of
of the store, whoever the fuck.
yeah, gives them a bunch of fireworks.
And of course, it's the piddly little shit, right?
Yeah, it's
The
the shit.
stuff that like you get fucking 6-year-olds in the States.
Yeah, like it's the shit that's actually legal for just random Joes to use in Japan.
Which is like those weird charcoal snake things, the colorful sparklers that shoot sparks, that kind of thing.
Yeah, those kinds of things.
Which, like, I get it. Those things are pretty, they're cool and everything, but like, if I'm gonna set off fireworks, like, give me some bottle rockets at least. Come on,
Yeah.
some bottle rockets, a thing of firecrackers that I can like wrap around something to explode it. Come on, something.
Yeah, we do be liking our explosions.
I don't know why, but like, even when I was a kid, when people got me fireworks, I would like glue them or set them up or wedge them in somehow to like little plastic army men and fucking like action figures and shit and just like explode them.
Amazing. But
I even tried it with those fucking like fuse smoke bombs. I don't remember if I don't know if they still like sell those or make those or anything like that. But like these little balls that have a fuse sticking out of them, and you light it, you set it down, and it just spews a lot of hot, colorful smoke. Right?
yeah. I do
And
vaguely recall those. I don't know if because I've not gone shopping or looked at fireworks for some time.
Yeah, same. Which is why I don't know why. I don't know if they still make them or not. There we go.
Yeah.
But like the one memory that really sticks out of my brain of me doing this is taking those things and like pointing like 6 of them at a singular army man to see if I could get it to melt with the hot smoke.
Gotcha.
It was mostly just like soot and chard, but I tried.
Trying's the important part.
I think I was like 9 at the time. Remember doing it on a fucking cinder block in the backyard. It was during the summer, of course, because that's the only time that you can really buy a lot of fireworks in the States. So, or at least that's the only time that you can buy a lot of fireworks in the South.
Yeah.
You can buy fireworks otherwise, but like you're only going to get the good shit and a lot of the good shit in the summer.
Yep, because that's when people are going to put up their little stands and not think too much about local laws.
Yeah, this is what we call out of state fireworks. I actually, near where I grew up in Texas, every summer there would be a not so much a little stall, but a very large stall, like those really big ones that you see in carnival movies and shit like that.
Mm,
Like the ones that you see in abandoned amusement parks and horror movies and shit, like these really enormous stalls that are like fucking 10 feet long.
yeah.
They would set up like fucking 6 or 7 of those things, and it would be packed to the brim and overflowing with large boxes of fireworks.
Well then.
And this is, of course, in Texas, right next to a place that caught on fire several times every summer. So
Because of
kind of
course.
like we never really like went to that particular stall for obvious reasons. Unsafe storage of very large amounts of explosives, even if it's
Yeah.
not like particularly powerful explosives. It's still pretty dangerous.
Yeah. So, episode ends with Kohaku going, "You are acting weird," and Hagi actually saying, "I'm wondering if I'm two-timing." And she's like, "What?"
And he's like, "Oh fuck, I said the wrong thing." Because like he said the conclusion of the thoughts and not the like the lead up thoughts, right? Which just
Yeah, it sounds wrong. Like, even his
it
sister,
sounds really bad.
even his sister's like, "I'm gonna pour drink on you for doing the exact same thing at the start of the episode."
Mm-hmm. Although I don't think his sister had the full context either. Like, because he just said, like, I wonder which one I'm more attracted to, and she's just like, hold on, what? But I didn't exactly take notes on that scene, so I don't
Yeah.
remember for sure.
And yeah, the episode ends kind of on her what? So we'll see how that goes.
Just like a quick note, though. I think I said this in the Discord as well, but I really like that Suo's surprise sound is a very flat wah. It gets me every time. I guess this is how people feel about like Ina and her little wahs.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. At least partially, I'm sure. Yeah, Sumo is just actually kind of Prince-like.
He's like a refined gremlin.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Like a regal gremlin. I do like that character archetype a lot. I haven't written one before, I don't think, but I haven't written one before, but I really like it. I've done the other like kinds of gremlins, right, but not the refined gremlin.
Yeah. All right, I think that's it for All Guys Mixer.
Yeah, not a lot here today. Just Hoggy freaking out,
Yep.
as Hoggy do.
Yep. Agidu. There was the one small interaction between Fuji and Asagi that I liked, where she's taking a photo of him with the fireworks. And he's like, "Oh, is this pose fine, or what pose should I take?" And she's like, "Oh no, this is actually for recording memories."
Yeah, this is just me taking pictures because I want to take pictures.
Yeah. So that was very cute.
Especially when he dragged her into it. It's like, let's take them together then.
Yeah. Like, very good. They do great. I think honestly, they're the reason I would stick around if I wasn't already like, "Oh yeah, Cat likes this, I'll like it."
No, that's fair. Like, all the Asagis of the world, I appreciate you. Keep being Asagis.
Yes. So, getting into Demon Lord 2099 here.
Yeah, and like it bears repeating, but like the OP and the ED both of Demon Lord 2099 are like absolute fucking bangers.
Oh
Both of
yeah,
them.
really excellent.
That's why I was a little bit slow on finishing today, is because like I insisted, like I was just like I have to listen to these today. I've been skipping them so often lately. I have to listen to them.
Yeah, that's very, very fair.
Since like people aren't privy to the DMs, I finished watching the last episode on the list today, like 2 minutes before the stream started.
Yep.
I should have finished like 10 minutes before that and like got all my notes together and shit like that, but like I didn't because I was listening to the OP and the ED of Demon Lord 2099. It's really good. Even if you don't like the show itself, you'll probably like the fucking music.
Yeah, the music is pretty good. So we start.
That's a great topic for later, actually. I just want to say this so we'll both remember it before we start.
Mhm.
After we're done with Demon Lord 2099 today, we'll talk about anime with the best soundtracks.
All right.
Because I actually have an option in my head already.
All right. We'll do our best to remember
now
that.
that I think about it. Oh, anyway, yes.
Yes. So we start where the last episode ended, which was Hazuki being revealed to be working at the maid cafe.
Which, of course, everyone gets a huge kick out of. Like, Takahashi, Veltol, and Makina all just, like, greatly enjoy this. And not in a mean way either. They just really like it.
Yeah, Takahashi is, in particular, overjoyed.
Yeah, because apparently Takahashi is super fucking gay.
She is the big gay.
Which I appreciate a lot.
Yeah, part of me thinks, oh, she was originally into Makina, but found out, oh no, Veltol's a real person.
Like, that could actually be it. Like, after the fucking seeing how obsessed she was with Veltol and then hearing that, yes, Veltol is a real person who is coming back one day. And she's just like, okay, I better clamp down on that one.
Yeah.
That would be my assumption anyway.
Yeah, I could honestly picture it. But yeah, she is the big gay. She's real happy when she gets Hazuki's familia address.
Yeah, she's very flirty and touchy with Hazuki in this episode.
Yeah, and once they actually get friendly, like, she doesn't mind it.
Yeah, Hazuki's not uncomfortable about this either, which is the great thing.
Yeah.
It's not that Takahashi is pressing this onto her or anything like that, or forcing it onto her. Like, Hazuki is actually responding in kind and teasing back, which is good. It's great.
Absolutely. Like, she's thrown
now
off
the high schoolers will go and like make out in the corner while everyone else does like combat stuff. It's excellent.
Yeah, very excellent. So they very much goad her into doing maid cafe stuff. And she actually does do the job once Makina's like, oh, if you can't do it, it's okay. Which she wasn't trying to get a rise out of her, but she heard you can't do it, and she just goes into overdrive.
Yeah, of course, because that's the kind of person Hazuki is, at least so far, anyhow.
Yeah, so far. And she actually does a good job of, committing to the bit.
Yeah, she just fucking hates it because she actually knows these people.
Yeah, she knows these people. She feels weird about this. So,
like, the look on her face when like none of her other coworkers are looking at her during this, priceless every fucking time.
Yeah, absolutely priceless.
Actually, I just realized, like, I noticed this when it happened in the episode as well, because like it was explicitly called out, but I just like put it together in my brain that Hazuki sat down and just chugged all of Takahashi's drink right after.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, if you're gonna climb all over me, I'm drinking a drink. So they get to the actual conversation they want to have with her, since they do have her here now.
It's
And
kind of like a great coincidence for them that this ended up actually being helpful. I don't think this was on Takahashi's like plan at all. I think
yeah,
she just wanted to like talk to people and fucking see some maids.
yeah, she just wanted big tittied maids. And she got
But it
big
turns
tittied
out
maids.
her classmate is a big titty maid.
Yeah. Well, her new classmate now. She was going to a different school at the time. Or, before this, I mean.
Yes, yes.
Uh, so they talk about, okay, well, we need the regalia, we need the orb. And she's like, well, we lost it. Family's not doing well.
I actually have a theory of where it is, exactly where it is, in fact. I have a theory about it, but we'll get to that later.
Okay. And Belto's like, all right, understandable. Then can you introduce us to the guy who's got the crown?
And she's like, yeah, I can do that, but like only one person at a time, please. I think he might get a little nervous if I roll up with a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, which, fair. This is a dangerous world. And he doesn't know how dangerous somebody is just from appearances, and they actually do look kind of tough. Well, at least Beltol and Machina.
Honestly, like, if I didn't know that they were very accomplished immortal warriors and mages, I would look at them and be like, those two are soft as fuck, dude.
That's fair. I think I probably would be at least a little bit intimidated with Beltol, because he does have that gravitas to him.
Yeah, like once he starts speaking, yes, but like just looking at them, I'd be like, yeah, that dude's soft as fuck. And then when he starts speaking, he's like, oh, he's either completely off his rocker, or here there's something to back that up. And either way, I don't want to fuck with that.
Yeah. So they talk to him, make a deal, essentially.
Yeah, and he's actually a fucking goblin, which I didn't expect either. Like, I mirror Veltal on that surprise. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't have expected that outright. But yeah, and he doesn't seem to be like a bad-mannered or bad-humored person.
Yeah, like he's probably a little crude and casual, but he explicitly explains this as well, that he was not raised as a noble. So of course he doesn't have noble's manners.
Yeah.
He just talks like someone from the street, which is what he is.
Yeah, and I mean, he was nice enough to ask, hey, do you mind if I smoke?
Manners where it counts.
Yeah. So, a decent person, easy enough to talk to. They just needed the introduction, and that was something Hazuki was able to help with.
Yeah, because apparently she knows the heads of the other like great houses, and is on good terms with them. Apparently, like I'm getting like scheming vibes from the headmistress, but that I also might just be being paranoid.
Yeah, but I still, I have feelings about that.
Yeah, I could see it going either way, to be honest.
Yeah. So after that,
which is good. That's a good setup to be able to see it go either way. So like you're
kind of wondering which it'll be.
Not surprised, but like it doesn't feel like a narrative leap or something like that if the other happens, right?
Yeah, it doesn't feel obvious which way it's gonna go.
Yes, which is good.
So while that's happening, Machina is picking up a doujin she was involved in, which was
with shirtless Veltol on the cover.
Yeah, with shirtless Veltol on the cover. So there is at least one depiction of his appearance in this world.
Yeah, but like we don't know if it's based on if it came out after he started doing his stream thing or before, right?
That's true. I think it. I
Because
think
it may be like literally based on like his streamer persona, right?
Yeah. So it kind of
Which
depends.
is basically just him, but
Yeah, I mean, it is basically just him. But yeah, she ends up buying her own book. Because she's like, how did this even get here?
Which is kind of funny. Like, don't you already have that? Don't you already have a copy of that? Shouldn't you already have a copy?
Yeah.
Yeah, although hers is probably digital, right?
Yeah, probably. And they gather.
It still like stuns me. Like every time I see something like a joke like this crop up in the show, I just flash back to Takahashi explaining that she met Machina over Dark Lord fan fiction.
Yep. It's like, okay, yeah. Makes sense.
The fucking translator group or whatever the fuck it was, the Dork Beers.
Yes, the 6 Dork Beers.
Gods. It's so ridiculous.
I love it, though.
Great, but ridiculous.
That is exactly the kind of ridiculous a Daojin Circle would go for.
Oh, I know. Believe me, I'm a part of a couple of them.
Yeah. So you get it.
Yeah, like the lesbian server I'm always talking about is a translation circle, like a scanlation circle group, whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
and there's a few others I know as well.
Yeah, so there's that. After that, the 4 of them gather back up, and though this actually might have happened before, because I remember Takahashi was like hugging her side, and her stomach grumbled.
Yeah, that was the maid cafe.
Yeah, at the maid cafe, but then they went somewhere else for her to eat something. So
It's kind of funny that Hizuki manages to get Veltol and Machina to commit a cannibalism.
Yeah. Like, here, have some dragon. I assume there is a difference between, like, a feral dragon and an intelligent dragon.
I would have to assume so.
Because otherwise, that would be bad. Like, I have to assume.
I think it's also still bad anyway, because like to get the meat, they have to cut it off the constantly regenerating dragon.
Yeah. Granted, I mean, if that dragon makes some bank and isn't like just held into,
Yeah, if the dragon can consent to this, it's probably fine. But
either way, they're like, well, wait, one of the Dark Peers was a dragon. But then she convinces them to try it, because you're like, oh, can you not do it? Or are you too big, baby?
Scared? And like that somehow works on, 1,000-year-old immortals.
Sometimes
to commit cannibalism. It's not even just like a non-standard food, right? It's like straight up cannibalism.
Yeah. It's more than a non-standard food, because they do know at least an intelligent dragon. Like, if I met a cow that could talk, I don't know if I could eat cow again.
I mean, I could, but, I am unbothered by such petty concerns as moralities.
Fair enough. But yeah, if I met a cow or chicken who could talk, I would think twice about having cow or chicken again.
I would try to make sure at least... I think I would at least try to make sure that none of the stuff that I was eating came from an intelligent speaking chicken. But I probably would not stop eating chicken. No.
Yeah.
Like obviously the best case scenario is lab grown, but
Yeah, we're not quite there yet.
getting there. It's just it should have been here 10 years ago, but lack of funding. That's
Yeah.
always the thing.
Lack of funding. And they get hassled in Electric Town because someone recognizes Hazuki as a noble from Magic Town.
And it's not like the other three aren't still wearing their fucking uniforms anyway. Actually, no, Takahashi changed out of hers.
Yeah. But the
The
other
other
two.
two still are, though.
Yeah. And I believe that's when the headmistress showed up and like, oi, is it legal?
Yeah, this show is also apparently ACAB,
Yeah.
which is great. Fuck
Yeah,
them cops.
absolutely. Like, I mean, it understands the assignment, especially for a cyberpunk setting.
Yeah. Like if you can have okay, don't get me wrong, you can have nice cops in a cyberpunk setting, but you have to make them be like the vanishing minority, right?
Yeah, like it has to be like they represent the mindset that people should have, but not the one that the establishment supports.
Yeah, like this,
like real life.
And yeah, a lot of, I mean, this obviously depends on where you live specifically, but in general, most cops, once you separate them from the system itself, are just like normal, okay people.
Yeah, normal, okay-ish
It's the fact
people.
that they're part of the system. Yeah, like it's the fact that they're part of the system and participate in it and uphold it. That's the problem, not them themselves.
Yeah, like ACAB is not that literally all, you sign up for being a police officer and you get the evil tag. It's that if you work for the cops, you're either complicit or you are powerless to stop it. Because no matter how good a person you are, you cannot fix this problem from the bottom.
Yeah. And that's kind of the thing. Like, individual cops can be good people. Cops as a whole, however, are not.
Yeah, exactly. And it is a choice.
That's the point.
It is not a group that you're in because you're just that demographic.
Yeah, you can take off that uniform, you can turn in your badge, you can give up your fucking whatever certifications or whatever. You can just stop working as a cop. You can go get a job somewhere else.
Yeah.
You can go be a fucking security officer or something.
Yeah, you can work security.
Like a fucking bodyguard or some shit. It's fine.
Yeah. And you can give local people your number and go, hey, if something happens and you need somebody, I'm here. And you would do a lot more good that way than working for the cops.
But anyway, in cyberpunk settings, this is like the exact opposite, not the exact opposite, but like you swap the proportions, right? From real life, at least the general proportions in real life. There are some places that are just as bad, if not worse, than like actual cyberpunk settings.
Like NYPD.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong here. I am not ignorant of the ways of the world. Okay, I'm just like I have to make generalizations, otherwise we will be talking about like exceptions and caveats to everything that we say for hours on end, which I'm fine with doing, but like most people don't want to listen to that.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, basically, like, the organization's bad, and they run off, like, basically all places are like the LAPD or the NYPD. Where it's mostly corruption and authoritarianism. And it plays up whatever, it hypes up whatever particular
tensions and conflicts are already going on in the area.
Yeah, exactly. So the separation between Magic Town and
and Electric Town.
yeah.
So the tension there, which is sort of class, sort of not.
Yeah, because it's like Electric Town isn't a poor area. It just runs off a different logic.
Yeah. At least so far, what we've seen of Electric Town is not necessarily a poor area. At least not any more poor than any other like random cyberpunk neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, there's going to be some slums, poor areas, and whatever, but we're seeing some pretty expensive places.
Yeah, like Electric Town is not the Redmond Barrens, you know? Like it's just like a place.
Yeah, and it is a big, sprawling skyscraper labyrinth.
But like the reason why it might be something of a class thing is also because most nobles do have magic, but that's not like born into them, but rather you become noble by having magic, or your family became nobility by having magic of some kind.
Yeah.
So like there's sort of a class thing going on there, but there's also sort of not.
Yeah, it's definitely not entirely class based.
Yeah, it's not something that you can easily map to something that happens in real life, which is good because that's what fantasy is supposed to do.
Yeah. Or at the very least, it is a good way to separate it from the reality enough that people can reapply it to the reality.
Yes, like you separate it enough from reality that it's not just the same thing that happens in real life, but like with a different coat of paint, right? Like this is a very complicated situation going on with Electric Town and Magic Town.
Yeah. Is a kind of Twin City situation where there's tension because you have, I guess the way you could separate it is people who remember the old world and those who do not. To some extent, at least.
I think it might also be a power differential.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Because as far as we know, all of the cities in the world run off of aether reactors. There's just not the immortal furnace. They run off the normal aether reactors, which just sit on top of ley lines and draw aether passively from the earth. And that's a magic thing. So
Yeah.
Magic Town might have more control over the resources in the
or
in
at
the
the very
city
least they're
than
competing
Electric
for
Town
it
does.
because
yes,
Electric Town probably understands that technology and has just as much dig into it. Because yes, it like literally it is a magical thing, but also like all technology is magic in this setting.
yeah. So there's at the very least a like struggle for control over resources in the city.
Yeah, between
Mostly
those two
between the
cities,
power
yeah.
players, but like mostly between the power players, but like we all know at this point that when the power players are fighting, they turn their minions and the people that they control against each other as well.
Yep.
Because that's what power is in real life.
Yep.
Sadly, we do not have much in the way of personal power in like reality. You're still human no matter what you do. You're gonna like you can die from falling wrong.
Yeah.
Less than your full height. You can just like fall over, smack your head at exactly the wrong angle, and you're done.
Yep.
Personal power isn't much of a thing in real life. So, like, all real power is the ability to manipulate and control others through some means. So, when power players fight, they fight using other people.
Yep. That is, it's the same old poor boy off to fight a rich man's war.
Yeah. Like, you're never going to see fucking Putin and, I don't know, that picks a random other politician in the world, like, get into a ring and duke it out, right?
Yeah. I would pay money to see that and see it be real. But no, we're never going to see that. We're never, there is no strong man that will just persevere over everything. Even though that's what a lot of conservatives want, you have to
Yeah.
what
For
actually works.
humans,
Yeah,
strength is more about like social bonds and psychological coping mechanisms and defenses and shit like that.
yeah,
Having a sturdy social foundation that allows you to just take blows without folding, right?
yeah, exactly. Like the strength and the reason humans are the way we are is we're a highly social species. That's how we've survived. Conservatives must misunderstand the idea of survival of the fittest to think strength.
Yeah, survival of the fittest individual. Well, that's not the case. It's survival of the fittest group.
Yes, and fit
Because an
mean
individual is never responsible for the survival of the entire species. It's the group.
yes, and fit means adaptable, not any ideas of oh we need to get rid of all the weak people.
Yeah, it's fittest for their niche specifically, not fittest in every respect.
Yes, is what is adaptable. And what's adaptable is highly social, highly responsive systems. It's
Well,
why,
that's why we like humans became like the survival of the fittest. That's why we survived over the others and the hominids.
yeah, yeah.
But survival of the fittest refers to the niche. Our niche is being able to do shit like what we do, like fucking bang rocks together and make lightning.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But
But for
adapting to
like say a
situations,
fucking mudfish,
adapting to whatever situation is presented to them in some way. And
yeah,
in a
it's
lot of
like
ways, that's biological adaptations and all that. But for humans, it is the social side.
thriving in a niche. Thriving in a niche. Fittest to thrive in that niche. For example, mudfish. They're not strong creatures. They're just really good at like conserving energy during the dry periods.
Yeah,
That's it.
exactly. So they can adapt to their environment. So being adaptable is what is actually good, is being able to adapt to whatever your environment you're in is. You know. So,
Or having already. Because like you take a mudfish out of their bullshit, and they're gonna die.
oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like we're
Just like you take humans out of our element, and, like we just fucking die.
yeah, yeah,
We
absolutely,
just like
absolutely.
throw a human in the middle of the ocean with no tools.
But
That
like,
human's dead.
for example, if you're an animal that exists where there's big river floods, you have to have some adaptation to that. So, it's
Otherwise, you're gonna fucking drown.
yeah, exactly. So basically we're saying the same thing. You're just saying niche, I'm saying environment. But I basically mean their niche in that environment.
Yeah, I think the difference between what we're saying is that you're saying adaptability, and I'm saying having already adapted.
Yeah, that's fair. But also like adapting to new stressors that occur as well. For example,
That's how you survive like environmental changes, but most environments don't really change that fast. So,
fair enough.
well, they didn't until we came along.
Yeah, they didn't until we fucking came along. But being able
Fucking
to
Anthropocene era.
being able to be in a good enough position to adapt as well as you can, and then the biology will adapt more over time when it comes to various species.
We should have Trig on for one of these one day so he can explain like in detail the concept of epigenetics to people.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, just in
Because like the
general,
name like epigenetics makes it sound like it's something that's inborn and natural to you, that you're just born with that. No, it's not. It's how your body changes its gene expressions over time, like in response to stressors in the environment.
yeah, absolutely. Like, there's a reason that dogs get a thicker coat during winter.
Like, yeah, actually, fucking humans do too.
Yeah, and
I know I
humans
bring
do
this up
too.
occasionally, but like humans do too. But like human fur, quote unquote, is just too thin for you to really notice
Yeah, yeah,
without like big
yeah,
measurements.
yeah. You can't really know or care too much because it doesn't keep you warm enough.
Yeah, yeah. The main human adaptation to the cold is called brown fat. This is an epigenetic change as well. So you know how like Scandinavians and like the Sami peoples and all that stuff up there uh, are like deal with the cold much better than like people from say fucking I don't know Italy.
Yeah, so I get
This
what
is
you're saying.
because Italians have something called white fat, which is it insulates less basically.
Yeah.
It burns at a lower temperature in the body when you actually burn fat for something. And the people up north have brown fat, which burns at a higher temperature and is thicker and insulates more easily. However, if they swap positions, like if you just take a bunch of Italians and put them in Scandinavia, and then you take a bunch of Scandinavians and put them in Italy, within
Over.
10 years,
Yeah.
they will have fully adapted to the, like, they will fully have changed all the fat in their body to the other type.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it did not even take me that long to readapt to being in Ohio because I was in Florida for a while. And of course, that, you know, granted, that might just be perception rather than the fat content. But, you know, in Florida, I eventually got used to the heat over, you know, the span of like 5 years. And then,
Yeah, that sounds about right.
yeah, I come back to
'Cause
Ohio.
it's a less severe change.
Yeah, I come back to Ohio and it doesn't take me but like a year or two to readapt.
Yeah, because your body had already been adapted to it in the first place. The more often you switch, the faster your body gets at changing it over.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
10 years, the 10 years thing that I said is just like if you take someone who has never been there before and do it.
Yeah. But yeah, like that's why I always think of this
Why do I
particular
still remember that? I don't know why I still remember that. I read a study on that like fucking 5 years ago.
But
Ugh.
I remember a particular episode. Granted, I wasn't the one watching the show, but Alaskan bush people. And there's a guy in like 75-degree weather who gets heat stroke.
Mhm.
Because he's adapted to the extreme cold of Alaska and probably does have that white or that brown fat content. And so, as a result, he got overheated. So that's basically it.
Yeah, epigenetics are fascinating, and I want Trigon to like explain them in more detail because I only really remember that one fucking study. I don't know why I remember it, but I do.
Yeah. Granted, it is just fucking neat, and it is an example of it still working in humans.
Yeah. Other epigenetic changes can also be stuff like if you spend a lot of time indoors reading something at close range, your eyes can adjust to that and make yourself nearsighted.
Yeah, that's why your eye doctor will suggest, you know, looking somewhere else for like 2 minutes. Like, look in the far distance.
Yeah, what I try to do is I lean back in my chair as far as it will go and until it gets blurry.
Yeah.
But I also don't have glasses, so I can't forcibly correct my vision.
Yeah,
I
fair
was
enough.
fucked no matter what, though. Like, both my parents and, like, all of my grandparents wore glasses, so there
Yeah,
was no way I was getting out of it.
yeah.
Breaking kayfabe for a minute to talk about, like, my actual human parents.
Yeah, like, and it's one of those things where, no, I am not going to do the contact lenses.
I could, but, like, I don't have any, so.
Yeah, fair.
Because I actually, during high school, I used to wear colored contact lenses.
Oh, neat.
I had purple eyes for a couple of years in school.
That is pretty cool. I would just forget to take them off way too easily.
That's
Yeah.
very fair. Like,
And maintaining,
I don't think actually, yeah, that's a good fucking point. Would I remember to do that now?
yeah, and maintaining like the cleaning of them on top of everything
Well, the
else.
cleaning is really easy. Like you put them in the fucking case and you squirt them with the cleaning solution. That's it.
I know it's easy.
Just remembering to do it though, yeah.
Yeah, the bad brain. It's not right in front of me, so my brain may not think about it.
I don't know, like I might be able to build up the habit because every time okay, so further kayfabe breaking. I live in a desert, right? Everyone knows that by now. The air is very dry here, so before bed every day, I have to put fucking chapstick on or lip balm or whatever the fuck, whatever I happen to have. Uh, and it only took a couple of days for me to get to the point where if I didn't do it, I felt wrong and couldn't sleep.
Ah, fair enough.
So depending on how obvious, because I can't remember, again, like I can't remember sensations very well, and this happened like before my fucking brain went to shit anyway. My memory went to shit. So I don't remember if I can actually feel contact lenses or not.
Yeah.
I
But
don't know,
yeah,
but it would depend on if I could.
I like glasses well enough anyway.
My
Most
only trouble with glasses is like, can I wear them with my headphones?
That's fair.
Is that going to bother me too much or not?
I've generally
I,
never had a problem wearing glasses and headphones. And I wear the big over-ear headphones because that's what feels nice to my tism.
yeah, this is what I got too. I got like a fucking Sennheiser cans.
Yeah. For me, because of the tism, I've got to find the ones that actually feel right. Oh, and like I'm a lot more choosy than most people would be because it's not about sound quality, but rather how they feel in my head.
Yeah, that's very fair. Like a lot of headphones just aren't made very well to begin with. They're kind of bad.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's because like, they're like fucking $20 cheapo pieces of shit. So headphones I'm wearing were like $250 when I first bought them. I think they're like 170 now, but mine were damn near $300 including shipping. The Packer suggested them to me and I looked at them and I was like, oh yeah, that'll be good. And when they got here, I put them on and this is like, yes, perfect, excellent. The cans are so big that they completely fit over my ears and do not actually touch the ear like at all.
Yeah, more or less
Maybe I
my
just
experience.
maybe I just have small ears. I don't know.
Mm, yeah, more or less my experience. It's just like even more so like what specific coverings it uses, whether it uses faux leather, cloth, or whatever for the actual ear
Mine is
cups.
like I don't know what mine is. It did have a faux leather covering on it, but that all wore away after a while because of course they would. Uh, but like the actual what I've got now is like some sort of it's like a fabric with some squish in it. I don't know what the hell it is. It feels great
So,
though.
uh, good anime soundtracks.
Yeah. So my contenders are Boogie Pop and Others and Recreators.
Hmm. Boogie Pop and others I knew about having a good soundtrack. I did not know Recreators had a good one.
Yeah, hold on. What's the song that I always use?
For me, I
Uh,
really like Goblin Slayer's music tracks when the music really hits.
I don't remember it well enough
Yeah,
to say.
but it's a bunch of Millie tracks, so you know it's good.
So, Recreators vocal OST was made or was written, composed, something by Hiroyuki Sawano. And that should be a recognizable name to people who know anime music. Layers, that's it. Yes. Hold on, let me pull this song. Layers, Hiroyuki Sawano.
Let's see, what have you worked on? Attack on Titan.
Where are you in my playlist? So I can just play it from here. Here you are. Turn this up a little bit, a couple notches, so people can
Yeah.
hear it.
Cabaneri of the Iron
Yes,
Fortress.
Commonality of the Iron Fortress. What an excellent fucking show.
Yeah,
God damn.
absolutely.
That's where my favorite gif of the woman pulling back the lever is from, and being like all like flexed up in the back.
Yep, that's one of two things I know it very well for.
It's a really good show.
Yeah.
So, one of the reasons why I put Recreators as one of my contenders for the best anime soundtracks of all time is that when I was watching it, I think it was episode 4 when the song was played. But when the song played, as soon as it was over, I had to stop the video playback and go find the song and listen to it a couple more times immediately.
Yeah, let's see.
It's that good.
Also involved in Seraph of the End, Promare. Involved in some Gundam stuff like Mobile Suit Gundam Hathaway's Flash, for people who know that. I don't.
I don't either.
Opening theme, arranger, and lyricist for Solo Leveling.
Oh, that would do it. Yeah. I did not know that was Yuki Usono. Okay. No fucking wonder I love the music in that one so much.
Yeah, involved in the Seven Deadly Sins as well. I'm not a huge fan of that show, but the music was good.
Yeah.
Kill la Kill.
Like everyone has a black spot on their record. I think maybe Vivi Fluorite Eyes song would be another contender. That's the name of the anime, by the way, not a specific song. It's musically themed. The show is, but it's not a music anime. You know,
Right. Let's see here. Also,
like, it's not Bocchi the Rock or anything where the whole thing is music. It's just
Yeah.
that music is Vivi's metaphor for finding a purpose in life
yeah, fair enough.
as a sapient AI. So,
And then on the video game side, Xenoblade Chronicles X as the composer. Actually did the theme song and arrangement for the League of Legends Star Guardian stuff, which is their magical
I have
girl.
never even heard of this.
Yeah, it's their magical girl AU. Goddess of Victory Nikke. And Blue Protocol. It's not a huge, like, video game.
Actually, heard of Blue Protocol. I remember nothing about it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, not a huge video
I recognize
game
the name.
Record as much as, you know, doing anime music since at least 2006. Oh yeah, duh. He did Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn. That's one a lot of people know.
I don't. That's because I don't usually pay much attention to Gundam.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of Gundam. I prefer my mechs to lean a little closer to the Western style than that. Not that I think Gundam does not have a lot of compelling stories to tell. I'm pretty sure it does, in fact. I think that it would not be still ongoing as a general series if it did not have a lot of compelling stories to tell.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm very much looking forward to uh the new Gundam. It's just a very weird name.
I feel like there was a Gundam coming out where it was from the perspective of the random foot soldiers instead of the Gundam pilots.
That would be good.
And that has me interested because that's cool as fuck. Frame because it's frame as far as I remember from the trailer, it framed the Gundams as like unstoppable monsters, horror
Oh
monsters sort of
yeah, I
shit.
think that was a fan animation actually.
Was it? Fuck.
I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure I remember that as like a fan animation, and it just showed like how monstrous on the battlefield a Gundam is compared to just a regular Merc. Sawano was also and is also involved in Thunderbolt Fantasy, which is another place people might know him from.
I no idea. Never heard of this before.
Oh, you've never seen Thunderbolt Fantasy?
Mm-mm. I have no idea what this is.
It is a TV drama of a sort using puppets.
Okay. Interesting.
Let me.
Not in a way that would make me want to like watch it, but interesting as a concept.
Like uses like stop motion style stuff.
Interesting. Okay. I've got a vague picture in my head of it then.
Yeah, like I also gave you an image of what they look like some of the cast.
Give me a second. I've got like a boiling kettle in my hands.
There. No need to be distracted while you have kettle.
Oh no, I do know this. Yes, I've seen this before, or at least I've seen some clips of it. I didn't know it was called Thunderbolt Fantasy though.
Yes, it is Thunderbolt Fantasy.
Okay, fair enough. So, like, what would be your contenders then? So we talked a lot about mine, and then like went on to talk about the composer for one of them.
Yeah. So up there would be your boy Kong Ming.
That also has fantastic music. Yes, I cannot believe I forgot that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Your boy Kong
That
Ming.
would okay. I'm gonna amend my list to add that one as well.
Yeah, because that's good. I'm looking forward to either a next season or like a compilation movie or something. Because there's something coming up, I just don't know what it is. If it's a new season.
Your boy Kong Ming was actually like super fucking funny.
Oh yeah, it was incredibly funny. I appreciated it because it doesn't really deal with any sort of romance plot, like at all. Especially not with Kong Ming and the leading lady. But
I don't remember her name either.
Yeah, even the other characters, like even the other, characters who get involved, there isn't a romance there. They are just,
as far as I recall, they're also like band members or supporting cast for the band, right?
Yeah, just fellow musicians. So, they have, friendly rivalries and things like that, but nothing that goes beyond friendship.
I love the idea, and one thing I especially loved about your boy Kong Ming is how he explained how like what the fuck are they called? Formations work.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's less about like some weird supernatural bullshit and more just taking advantage of like gaps in human psychology.
Yeah, psychology.
I think that's cool as fuck.
Yeah, that was real good, especially like his big play on really confusing people to stick around her booth.
Yeah, for that one concert, they like try to leave to find the bathroom, and then they just like walk back into the room.
Yep.
It's like it was a combination of like fog generators, flashing lights, free drinks, and like various other shit.
And identical people at a bunch of the doors.
Yeah, or
So,
people dressed exactly the same anyhow.
yeah.
Which was like that's beautiful. That's how you use that shit in real life.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I kind of liked his version of rap was more like a sutra.
I would murder to have someone try to reconstruct a flighting
Ooh, yeah.
and perform it in the modern day, like with like their actual like the equipment that they would use back then and all that shit.
That would be
Because
cool.
I don't think I've ever heard a flighting done, and I want to know what it would sound like.
Yeah. Granted, I would want to
Does it
know.
sound like modern rap and hip hop, or does it sound like completely unique? I want to know.
Yeah. Honestly, I would love it to them to do two takes. One, try and recreate it as best as they can. And second would be, okay, now have a rap battle with the old equipment, but with your modern
Okay.
sensibilities.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, I want them to do both.
Like, let's add a third one and have a an actual rapper and someone who has studied flighting have a rap battle or a flighting battle, whichever, just to see like if it would mesh at all.
Yeah,
I doubt
fair.
it would. Like, there's two completely different musical styles, I'm sure, but like, come on, I want to I want to see.
So yeah, there's that. I briefly said before Goblin Slayer with Millie's tracks.
Yeah,
One Piece Red, which I've shown you a lot of that before. With
I like that one specific song from that group of songs.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I liked.
The song meant to end the world. Hans Musica, I believe.
I should still have it up. 1 second. Yeah, because I like to tab back over and listen to it every now and then.
Yeah, it's a good song. Like, Do is very good in general.
Yeah, Talk Musica.
Yeah, Do. There's a reason she's just come onto the scene and really gained that popularity very quickly.
What else? You said Goblin Slayer, Top Musica, and like the rest of One Piece Red.
Yeah, and your boy Kong Ming, like we said. What else? Trying to think. It's one of those things where I could have named these things before, but now that I've been asked the question.
Yeah. So to give you time to think on that, I'm going to swap gears to best video game soundtracks
Okay.
because I just thought of Crypt of the Necrodancer.
Oh yeah, Crypt of the Necrodancer, always fun.
Crypt of the Necrodancer, Rebel Galaxy, and Hard Space Shipbreaker. Those are my favorite soundtracks for video games. I'm sure there's some more that are like entirely original,
Yeah.
but I don't remember them off the top of my head because I have the bad brain.
Yeah. I mean, I will always appreciate for that. Undertale is a classic one to mention, and I mean, it's just like, hey, you've got a musician who made a video game.
I just remembered something.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part of Dragon Age Inquisition was the Tavern Bard songs. The rest of the music was perfectly serviceable, but the Tavern Bard songs, like, damn. They're very good. There's like 13 or 14 in the entire game, with criminally few for how much I love them. I would have like murdered for at least like twice that.
Yeah. Liza P has a great soundtrack. Like, listening.
As classic and well known as Dark Souls music is, I don't think I would put it in the top contenders for best video game music. I think it's just like that because of the narrative themes going on.
Yeah, I think
that's why it feels so good at the time.
I think you can put individual tracks at top tracks, but I don't think there's like, oh, this game has an entire knockout soundtrack.
But I do say that for Hard Space Shipbreaker, Rebel Galaxy, and Crypt of the Necrodancer,
Yeah.
their entire soundtracks are that knockout good.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, Liza P is very good. There's a reason there is a mechanic to encourage you to listen to all of the records to
They
make it
really want to show
easier
off
to
their
get.
work.
Yeah, let them show off all the work they put into that. You know, because that'll be a good way to increase your humanity if you want a humanity-based ending.
I love the idea of using music as a way to express humanity and build humanity in non-human things in games and fiction in general.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think that it's not strictly accurate to real life, but I do love the idea anyway, despite
Yeah.
that.
But it does give, like, if you can stop, appreciate, and enjoy expression in some form, artistic expression in some form, that is part of being human.
See, I disagree fundamentally with that idea because, believe it or not, only about 50% of the human population on this planet actually gets an emotional response to music and art,
Huh.
which is fucking mind-boggling to think about being part of the 50% that does.
Yeah. Like, I don't think that you need to have a big emotional reaction or like
No, I mean,
appreciate.
like, there's been studies on it and everything. Like, only 50% of
Yeah.
the
Like
planet
I
actually like has it.
yeah. Like
And you
I.
can build up to being able to have the response. I've seen it happen, and like it's anecdotal, but I've known it to happen.
Yeah.
I can't say if there's been studies on it or not, but I have seen it personally.
Yeah.
In
Like
fact, someone
I.
I dated
Yeah.
used to be like that. Trig's like that, believe it or not. He doesn't actually have a big response to music at all.
Interesting.
He just it's just background noise to him.
Yeah. Fair enough. Um. But yeah, I think engaging with some sort of art or with the stories we tell in some way, not necessarily in big emotions, but it's a way to express. Okay, here's a better way to put it: thinking beyond immediate survival.
Okay, yeah, like, I would definitely agree with that because we humans are unique in their ability to think abstractly beyond immediate survival.
Yeah, I think that's more what I mean is
That's what
being.
makes us sapient and everything else not sapient.
Yeah, being
That is
able
the
to.
literal definition.
Yeah, being able to engage with those kinds of ideas, whether it is art or the sciences or whatever. Art, sciences, philosophies, humanities, whatever tickles the brain meats. But engaging with something.
So this is related, but not. It's like another step away from music, but it's still related. Um, if pressed, I think I would respond to the question of like what is humanity with the idea that it is a diversity of thought,
Yeah, yeah, I
not
could see that.
necessarily artistic expression or a wide range of emotions or even understanding, but rather diversity of thought, beliefs, how you interact with the world, perceptions, all of it, diversity of the brain itself, which is fucking weird because we are one of the least diverse species in terms of like genetic variance.
Yeah, like something to note is skin tone has a smaller footprint on your genetic code than different heights do. Like there's more genetic.
Yeah, like we talked about this on stream actually, and you are actually the one who got me to like recognize where my perception of that fact had gone wrong.
Mm-hmm.
because if I remember correctly, I had originally thought of it as like whenever this question came up in science class or health or whatever the fuck it was, whenever it said like the difference between like a black man and a white man versus the difference between like a 5'6" dude and a 6'6" dude, which one has greater genetic variance. And I thought because it said white man, black man, not skin tone, I thought this included like skull shape, fucking blood cell shape, fucking bones, everything, right? All the stuff that's affected by this kind of thing. But no, it's actually just the skin tone that I was talking about. It was just a badly phrased question.
Yep, yep.
It's poisoned by perception of the fact for like 15 years afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. It's like just that kind of perception of what race means. But like, if you met somebody who was light skinned, like, you know, as white as the whitest person you've met, but had a lot of the other factors, you would just go, interesting face, but you would just see him as a white dude.
Yeah, I think so. I was gonna say like caveat albinism would make it very obvious, but like that's obviously a
Yeah,
fucking weird thing anyway.
yeah,
that's a total ass different thing.
yeah, that's a separate thing entirely. Yeah, like albinism is very different from just a difference in skin tone.
Mm-hmm. But anyhow, back to the music soundtracks.
Yes. Let's see here.
Your last one was Lies of P.
Yeah, Liza P was good.
In case you had any other ideas in the list, you know.
Do I? Oh, Metaphor Refantasio actually has a killer soundtrack.
I did not get to hear enough of it because you didn't stream the entire thing to me.
Yeah, no, I figured as much.
What I heard was good, but I was also doing other things at the same time, so I wasn't exactly focused on the music.
Yep. But I mean, we get a rapping monk, so.
That's incredible. I love that.
I think that's it for soundtracks I can think of off the top of my head. Oh,
Bloodlines. How did I forget Bloodlines?
yeah, and I was thinking, yeah, Bloodlines is good, but I also had that moment of, why didn't I think about this? Nier.
Oh yeah, Nier is also really good.
Yeah, Nier Automata, and
like you don't even need to play the game to know how good that fucking soundtrack is, because I've never played it.
Yeah.
Like not even a little bit. I don't even know what the fuck happens in the game. But that soundtrack is fucking killer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Nier Automata and Nier Replicant, and basically any games that come from Yoko Taro, generally, he knows how to pick people out for his music. And they did a really good job.
Oh my gods. How? How did we not think of this? Fucking Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, motherfucker. You're right.
Like that game has some of the best songs, period. Not just soundtrack wise, but just best songs of all time.
Yeah, best songs, period. Like that.
Like Suzaku's theme, Sunrise. Ooh.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that.
And there's
yeah.
What's the fucking one that's always memed about? That's actually a really good song. Shit.
Shoot. Yeah, this is the problem though with the bad brain is we can't remember song names.
Yeah, I remember a lot of song names from Final Fantasy XIV, not the one that I'm searching for in the brain meets right now.
Yeah.
Like I remember Neath Dark Waters, Answers. Actually, now I don't remember Titan's theme song name. But there's also like Striking Tree.
Yeah. There's the one in Endwalker that plays
Close in the Distance.
Yes.
See, I can remember all of them, Except Titans and fucking the one I'm searching for. It's a Shadowbringers dungeon. It's a post Shadowbringers dungeon. Um,
Yeah.
Twin something.
Oh gosh.
Let me fucking pull this up. It's I can't. I don't know if the twin is in the dungeon name or the song name. Um, Shadowbringers twin.
The twinning or the twining.
The Long Fall. There we go.
The long fall. Got it. But
Okay,
yeah,
because twinning is the dungeon. Okay. Oh, it's not post Shadowbringers. It's 5.0. Okay. I thought it was like right after like 5.1 or something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, there's just great music in that. They have a stellar musical team. And I appreciate that the primals are just suits from the company. Like people who work on other things for the game. For the most part. Whether it's voice acting, programming, whatever. Localization folks are on there.
This is the meme that I'm talking about. You'll recognize it.
Oh yeah. The dancing pool party meme. Yeah, I knew which one it was. Like I knew exactly what meme you were talking about, so I was searching in my brain too. But yeah, there's great tone setting music. Like they're very good at getting the emotion out of the music that they want to give.
Absolutely.
So with Nier, what I was saying was they did a really good job with the gibberish ancient language, where it feels like I should know what this means, or the sounds in this are familiar, but I cannot understand a lick of it.
Yeah, the power of like having an actual conlang going on.
Yeah.
Like people who like linguists and like musicians and shit who all like know languages very well. Yep. That's the power.
Yeah, and specifically, it's all gibberish, but they put sounds in there, and occasionally they throw in a real word.
This reminds me of that one song where that person made an entire conlang just for their fantasy soundtrack.
Yes.
Hagatali, I think the artist name is.
Something like that.
I have the song on my computer, but I don't remember it, so I can't search it. Hold on, I'll just scroll for a while until I see it. But yeah, fucking. You'll notice in my choices for like top video game music, you'll notice a theme in the style of music it is. It's like Rebel Galaxy and yes, that's the song.
And it's Hagali. You're right. Hagali. Okay.
Yes, I added an extra syllable in there on accident.
Actually, the Umineko soundtrack has slapped so far.
That's true. I don't know if I would count it among the best, though. Some of them are very forgettable.
Yeah, I can kind of see that a few of them are kind of forgettable, but I don't know. I think I'm willing to put that on at least games I've mentioned.
That's fair. Okay. I can't believe I forgot this one. I talk about how much the fucking soundtrack fucks all the time. Darktide. Warhammer 40k Darktide has a soundtrack that absolutely slaps the shit out of almost everything else I've ever heard.
Excellent.
Like my favorite song off the soundtrack that I know of, because I haven't played in a long time, so I don't know if they've updated the soundtrack or not. But let's see, 40k Darktide. Disposal Unit Imperium Mix. Yes, this shit.
All right, let's see, because this is one I actually don't know. So,
I've definitely sent it to you before.
oh yeah, yeah.
Just an absolutely fucking magnificent song.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking amazing right there.
Like this is one of the songs that plays when you're fighting a boss. So it's like,
Yeah, that feels like
oh, it's perfect for it.
yeah. But yeah, I think Final Fantasy 14 is like my top pick out of the video game picks, though, for sure.
I think it's a struggle between Rebel Galaxy, A Hard Space Shipbreaker, and Final Fantasy 14. Darktide is really, really good, but it has comparatively few songs, and some of them are misses. So they're like it's a high proportion of misses, you know?
Yeah.
Like because when there's like 14 total songs and 4 of them are misses, that's a much bigger deal than when you've got fucking 600 songs and 30 of them are misses, like in Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah. Uh, much of more of a slightly subdued soundtrack, but for anime, Ancient Magus Bride is pretty good.
See, I don't know that OST or the soundtrack for that, whatever the fuck, because that's the anime that I was going to watch with that one partner of mine. But I can't anymore
Oh,
because like every time I think about it, it's just like, oh well, shit.
I was wondering because you said, "Oh, this is soured for me," but you didn't tell me why.
Oh yeah, so we were watching it together and
Mhm.
everything, like like a couple episodes a week together because this was when the first season had just come out and all that shit.
Right.
Um, and then my leg, like my stepfather died. I nearly lost my house. My legs went to shit. My brain went to shit. I lost all that weight, etc. All at once, right afterwards. And also, that partner of mine left me at the time. So, yeah, I'm never watching Ancient Magus Bride.
Unfortunate. I think you would, even if you didn't like all the plots, you would get a lot of juice out of
Oh,
what they're
I'm
doing.
sure I would because just the first 2 or 3 episodes alone that I remember already gave me so much at the time. And I'm much better at pulling juice out of things now than I was when I was 22 or 23.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Someone with more experience is better at the thing than they were before when they had less experience.
Yeah. Also, I'm sharing this with you. This is an Umineko. Someone made an opposite of the Umineko meme I showed you before.
Excellent. Feel like I feel like I'm missing an OST from an anime that aired very recently that I cannot remember.
Uh, could it potentially be? And I haven't heard the soundtrack to know, but could it be Freerun?
No, Free Runs is good, but it's like background music good, you know?
Hmm.
It's atmospheric good, which is all well and fine. I'm not knocking atmospheric music, but like it doesn't consume my soul and mind for weeks at a time.
Yeah. Let's see. Good stuff that came out.
Is it fucking Don maybe? I
Might
think it's
be.
Don's OST.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yes, actually, yes, it is. Like the OP is what got me hooked on it. Like,
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
yeah, that's the good shit.
Oh, I didn't realize Tower of God was still going on.
Yeah. I don't know if the comic is still going on.
Yeah, I don't know if the comic still is, but the anime still is, which is nice to see, actually.
Let's see. Because I used to read it, Tower of God. Webtoon. New episode on December 15th, 2024. It's still ongoing. Holy fucking shit.
Yeah, fair.
How? That's too many episodes. Stop it. You already know my feelings on like having like a fucking comic end at some point.
Yeah.
Like whenever something gets advertised with like 200 plus like chapters, like I'm like that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing.
Yeah. The
If you
only.
said that about an entire series, sure. One
Yeah.
singular story,
Yeah, not a singular story. Like, a series can go on for that long.
Yeah, because like there are epic series like that have like 7 fucking full ass 500 to 600 page novels in them, right? Like, and that works because they're broken up into arcs like that, right? They're purposefully
Yeah, like,
mashed and like
you know,
not episodic. That's a completely different thing.
yeah, like One Piece can be that long because it deals with various stories.
But like one continuous story where they still haven't reached the end goal, like that they started with in the very very beginning. I
Yeah,
don't.
yeah. Unless the goals started to shift and change, like you can kind of do that if you kind of put that original goal on the back burner well enough. But yeah, like staying with one goal throughout that they keep trying to get to.
Yeah, just like don't. My thing here is don't be afraid to let your stories end. Oh, aspiring writers, I beg of you, please end your stories. Give them an ending, like an actual ending. Don't just like half-ass it, of course, but end them. All things must come to an end at some point, and I would rather you end it on your terms than you fucking die of old age and still be writing it.
Yep. Also, did a fly like go around your mic or something for a moment there?
Probably. There's one on my monitor, like right next to it, and I can't slap it because it's on my monitor.
Yeah.
There are 2 flies in here right now, and they're both on my monitor right now. I think there's 2. There might be a third one, but I don't see it anywhere, so I'm pretty sure it's not. Pretty sure there's just the 2. I'm surprised that it fucking picked up the fly though. I do have a noise gate and noise suppression on, so I don't know.
Yeah, it sounded like
Maybe
it was
like
right up against it for a moment there.
it might have passed within a few like centimeters or something. I don't know. At least I don't have any fucking mosquitoes in here anymore. That was an awful couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So for people who missed that bit, for like 3 weeks straight, every single day I had a new mosquito somehow get into my office. Every single day. And I knew it was a new mosquito each time because I killed one the previous day. I killed the one I saw the previous day, and like the next day, there would just be a fucking another one. It was awful. Like my arms and my feet and my everything was just like covered in fucking insect bites. It's awful. Hated
Oof.
it.
Here. I'm trying to see if they actually do have Ranma listed when the second cour is, or if we're not going to know when it comes back until this next episode. By the way, we are going to take next week off for Weeb Wednesday.
Oh yes, I forgot to say that. Yeah.
Basically,
like most of the stuff that we're watching, it just doesn't have an episode next week. So
yeah, either they won't have one next week or they won't have one the week after. Because
so we gotta actually have some stuff to talk about at some point.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly.
like we could go live and talk about something else, but like that requires a lot of work and catching up on other shit. So
yeah, exactly. So I figure I'm gonna be visiting family anyway, for actual Christmas, and then we can just come back the following week and
yeah,
either
I usually like to stream on holidays, specifically
Yeah.
for people like me who don't celebrate, just to give them something to do. But I also don't have much to do this year on those days, so I could stream something, but I don't know what I would stream.
Yeah. All right, there's no list for anything to do with Ranma when we'll know when the second cour is going to air specifically. So we will just have to hang on for more information on that.
In the meantime, we can cover some of the other series from this season.
Yeah, absolutely. We can pick up.
Because there's a few good ones. There's a few other good ones other than the ones that we've just been talking about each week. Like Dawn to Dawn, Let This Grieving Soul Retire.
Sakamoto Days.
My brain is... Oh, that's next season.
Oh, yeah.
Because like there'll be a little bit of lag time in between this season ending and the new one starting, right?
True enough. Like,
or at least the anime that we're watching this season ending and the new one's starting.
Yeah. Though Sakamoto Days actually starts on January 11th.
Ranma will probably be over by then, right?
Yeah, because it should be next episode, whether that's airing next week or the week after. Because I assume they're going to go for 12 episodes instead of 13 episodes for this cour.
It might be 13. I don't know. But yeah, like Dawn to Dawn would be a good choice. Let the Screaming Soul Retire. Maggie Lumiere might be an interesting topic to talk about, but I don't know if there would be a lot to talk about there.
Yeah.
Interesting, but not a lot, you know?
Right, exactly.
What's there is fascinating, but like a lot of it is character interaction and not anything especially compelling like, say, All Guys Mixer. But I should hope that fucking All Guys Mixer has especially compelling character interactions. That's literally all there is.
Yep.
Yeah. There's no action scenes. There's no like cool character designs. There's no world building. It's literally just the characters talking to each other all the time.
Yep, it's just the characters talking, dealing with each other, dealing with the occasional outsider to the group.
Okay, here's a deep cut question. Best video game narrator.
Ooh, that's tough.
I think using Final Fantasy XIV would be cheating in this case, because there's like 15 different narrators and all of them are excellent.
Yeah, all of them are excellent.
They would just take the top 10 spots all on their own.
Yeah, like absolutely.
But of course, I am partial to Louis Soir in A Realm Reborn being the narrator, but that's because he's voiced by David fucking Lodge.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't help it. I'm biased. I love David Lodge. David Lodge is like brilliant. He's probably my favorite voice actor ever.
The narrator in Love is War is pretty good.
I have not seen it, so I would not know. I will take your word for the quality of the narrator.
Yeah, because mostly he's funny because he's also fed up with these two losers not getting the picture.
Right on. So I do have another one to add to the list that's not David Lodge.
Hmm.
I don't know the voice actor's name, but the woman who does the narration in Icewind Dale 2.
Mm.
Part of it is the incredible quality of the writing itself, but her delivery is also absolutely fucking perfect. Like, I think it would still be probably at least decent narration if I just read out of what the narration, like the opening narration is of that fucking game. So that's the kind of like writing we're talking about here, which is kind of fucked because Icewind Dale is not a particularly story driven game.
Yeah.
Like
Some
the setup is beautiful, but like
yeah.
uh,
Something else we can potentially at least check out the first episode from next season will be the Red Ranger Isekai. I know you weren't as keen on the manga.
what is it? Sorry, I was
Uh,
looking for the narration. Sorry.
the Red Ranger Isekai.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's just something that we can also maybe watch at least the first episode from the new season.
Yeah, we could.
Which might be a way to do it when we have a stopgap like this, like do some first episode samplings.
Yeah, that would probably be a good call. And also, like, eventually start watching, like, backlog stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you believe that I still haven't fucking seen Record of Lodoss War?
Oh, jeez.
It's considered one of the greatest fantasy anime of all time, and I still haven't seen it.
Yeah, no, I'm actually in the same boat.
Oh, fascinating. We could actually do that. We can make a thing of this.
We could. Let's see here. Just trying to see if there is anything.
You know, I actually, most games I play these days do not have narrators anymore.
Yeah, that's true enough. Uh, actual video game narrators, though, let me see. Trying to think. Well, actually, Metaphor does have a narrator. And that's
You're
pretty.
right, but I don't remember the voice.
Yeah. Because it was specifically the guy that's in the study. Why am I blanking on his name?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I'm also blanking on his name.
Again, the. Let's see here. Moore, that's his name.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, because he's the one acting as the narrator for that. And what else have I ever played that actually contains a narrator? Well, I mean, it's worth mentioning. Fucking Slay the Princess, even though that's a different kind of narrator.
Yeah, that's true.
We get a lot of opening narration in stuff, at least. So Souls-likes get a lot of opening narration that are pretty fucking good.
It's true, but you never actually like hear those narrators again, right?
Yeah, no. Except for maybe in like a DLC trailer or something. Yeah, I don't think I've actually played a lot of games with narrators in it. Just because a lot
It
of
used to be way more common when you had fewer like voice actors to go around, right?
yeah, like there's that for a start, but there's also like, oh yeah, I'm playing this game that has no voice acting.
Yeah, let's see. An excerpt from the narration of Icewind Dale 2. I think this is the opening chapter, not the opening cinematic. But like as soon as you start the game, you get of course, you get your opening cinematic, which also has the same character and same voice actor doing a narration over a cutscene. And then when you actually start the game proper, like you've made your party and you load in, you get another one. Then that's what I'm going to quote from. Uncle Oswald said that Mayor Dewalden was full of sunsets that day. So many ships coming up the Shaneguard had been set aflame by the goblin hordes that they burned to the waterline in a row like a flock of fiery geese. Some leapt overboard and tried to swim to shore, only to be cut down by orcs when they arrived. Others clung to the hulking infernos and were inevitably consumed in the flames. The rest dropped into the icy deep, snowflakes off Death's shoulders as he shrugged over the dale. Like I said, it might be like a part of the writing quality and not the voice actor, but the voice actor is also really good.
Another one I did
Icewind Dale takes the cake for the best narrator, in my opinion.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So one I did think about is Hades and Hades 2, which is narrated in universe by Homer.
Okay, yeah, I don't really remember the voice very well, but I do remember that it had a narrator at least.
Yeah, in Hades we actually didn't get the name other than Zagreus calling him like old man or something.
But having a fucking cat fight with him.
Yeah, but Melanoe does bring up that it's Homer. Because she even talks to him like, ready to keep going, Homer?
I like her design. She's cute. I like her design a lot.
Yeah, her design's very good. We do get... I'm not going to spoil it because the game isn't even fully out yet, but we do get an explanation for her appearance. Like the heterochromia situation.
What could wound a god so terribly that they had to use a spectral arm instead of their like actual arm? Like shit, that is pretty incredible. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. Would you like to know? I will type it to you if you do.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Like I'm not gonna play the game.
Ah.
I just don't like the game style, you know. Like
right.
I'm sure the story is great and everything. I just don't like the style of Hades itself. Like the mechanical, like moment to moment gameplay. Not the meta game, but like the in between combat is great.
Uh-huh.
Ah, I see. Okay.
Yes.
I think you told me that before, actually.
Fair enough. Maybe I did. Or maybe somebody did.
I think you're the only person that I've ever talked to about Hades 2, so.
And gosh, we were talking about good video game soundtracks. We fucking forgot about Supergiant Games.
Alright, I'm trying to light a cigarette.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah, fucking Bastion and Transistor, that's right, yeah.
Yeah. Bastion, Transistor, the Hades games.
I don't remember a lot about Transistor's soundtrack, but I also played it at like 3 in the morning, which you'll
That's
note
fair.
is a reoccurring circumstance for me.
Yeah. But yeah, Transistor definitely, because that was about a musician. A musician who lost your voice, admittedly, but a musician.
I actually remember. So for Transistor, I actually did a recording of it. I recorded like a let's play of it back when I still did that.
Hmm.
So I played Transistor like 7. No, because I started doing my let's plays when Tears still lived with me, and that was 19 to 20. So yeah, like I played it around release at like 3 in the morning, exhausted from like having just like batch recorded like fucking. I think it was like 12 episodes in the end. That sounds about right because the game's not very long. You know, it's like if you just blast through it all at once, it's like fucking 6 hours.
Yeah.
I do remember being very into the music. I just don't remember the music itself anymore.
Yeah, you might have to revisit the soundtrack. But Supergiant Games in general puts out some bomb-ass music.
Absolutely, yeah.
I particularly like Hades 1 for why am I blanking? Orpheus
I
in
liked
Eurydice.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna say that I really liked their music specifically.
Yeah.
Like
Specifically,
whenever they were like in the room, like they would play music, and I really liked theirs.
yeah, theirs is good, but specifically Eurydice, you hear her version of the song first with just her lyrics, and it seems like it's good riddance to Orpheus, but then you get them together and it's like, oh, good riddance to like everything that stood in both of their ways. And that kind of shows the dynamic of their relationship mending thanks to Zagreus's efforts.
Good shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's real good. Because, yeah, I mean, that is one interpretation of what would happen is Eurydice is like, well, fuck, you fucked up. You had to look back.
It reminds me of that one Tumblr post that is always like bandied around about Orpheus,
Hmm.
where it's talking about like a straw man basically. It's like, oh, I would simply not look if I were Orpheus. It's like, yes, you would, because the kind of person that would go to the afterlife while still alive to like drag their wife or their loved one out of that place and back into life is not the kind of person that would be capable of keeping themselves from looking. Generally speaking, of course.
Yeah.
I'm simply built different, literally.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, we have the experience of genre savvy.
Yeah, there's also that, but I don't know. I think if I was an ancient Hellenistic individual trying to drag
Oh yeah, like you
someone I care
are
about
actually
from
built
Hades.
different.
Yeah, it's like fucking like I would be thinking about it like, when does Hades lie? Hades is not known for deceit. Hades is known for having very strict rules. When Hades says that something is going to happen, that thing will happen.
Yeah,
because it's Hades.
Yeah, generally speaking, when Hades does a thing, it is not for, you know, deception. In fact, it is deceptions that was involved with Sisyphus. Sisyphus deceived the
Hades and Thanatos and got punished for it.
yeah. Deceive
They
the
deceived them
chthonic
twice even.
gods. Yeah, twice. Fucking locked Thanatos in a fucking chest.
Yeah, like the first time, I'm pretty sure they were just like, okay, very cheeky. Now let's go. And then like the second time, they're just like, okay, no, you're gonna get punished now. Fuck you.
Yeah, you're actually gonna get punished for this one. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help that he leaned on Persephone's good graces.
Which is kind of funny because like in the actual myths, Persephone is the one that's the least compassionate and kind. She's the one that'll fuck you up the most.
Yeah.
Oh, like all the chthonic gods. Like she's literally called the Dread Queen.
Yeah. Yeah, but Sisyphus leans on her mercy and fucks up because he's trying to live forever, or at least a long time.
Yeah. Now, I can say that I would never be in Orpheus's position in the first place, not because I wouldn't be willing to go to the afterlife to like pull someone I cared about out, but because I wouldn't I wouldn't think of using music to sway a god, right?
Yeah,
Like I'm not that good a musician to be able to do that.
yeah, like it seems like you would more likely try to be more convincing.
Yeah, I would either try to be like persuasive or like do a bet or do like a match of some kind, right? Rather
Yeah.
than that, which means I would probably fucking lose because I'd be playing against a god.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Like-
again, like I would just never be in that position in the first place.
Like, honestly, what you do there, I think, is I don't know who would necessarily be the one to. Well, let me see. But a god of dreams or a god of illusion, so either Morpheus or like Dolus or something.
Yeah.
And basically kind of pull a trick that happens in Norse literature. Because
Oh.
they go to a frost giant or a giant in general.
Utgard Loki. I know what
Yes.
you're talking about. Yes.
Yes, Utgard Loki.
Not to be confused with Loki.
Yeah, not to be confused with Loki, which may just be a title and it's been lost to time. What that title actually meant necessarily.
Yeah. We know for sure that one of Loki's parents was Laufey,
Yeah.
but that's it.
But yeah, Utgard Loki is an illusionist. And he creates contests for them to go up against. And the one I remember is there's an eating contest between Loki and
Yeah, I remember all three contests.
Utgard
Or
Loki's
all four contests, rather.
Utgard Loki's representative for this. And it's revealed that, and Loki loses, it's revealed that that's because Utgard Loki set him up against the embodiment of fire.
Yeah, the embodiment of wildfire, specifically.
Yeah.
Not
So
like a hearth or anything, but like an angry, consuming flame that sweeps through the world.
Yes. So, of course, he couldn't consume faster than that. Loki is not a
And of
god of
course, like,
consumption.
In this particular myth, both Loki and Thor fail every single test and challenge, but they do well enough that it terrifies Utgard Loki into doing what they want anyway, because the shit that they have to actually compete against is so incredibly impossible to win against, and yet they still actually manage to do something. He's just like, okay, yeah, just take the fucking hammer and leave.
Take the hammer and go. What are the other two contests, though?
There's four contests. Three of them are for Thor, and then one of them is for Loki. Loki's is the wildfire feast. Thor, I don't remember which order it goes in, but Thor has to lift the paws of a cat off the ground,
wrestle an old woman, and then empty a mead horn. And he fails all three, of course. However, he manages to do enough of each that it terrifies him. In the case of the cat, he lifts one of its paws off the ground. In the case of the old woman, I think it's an old woman anyway. It might be an old man. I don't remember. It's an old person. He actually manages to hold out against the old person for a good while. And in the case of the mead horn, he actually visibly lowers the amounts of the mead in the mead horn. Now, the tricks are that the cat is actually Jormungandr himself.
Yeah, it's a fucking
The
Midgard
old woman
serpent.
is time itself. And then the mead horn was magically connected to the fucking ocean.
Yeah, he visibly lowered the ocean amount.
Yeah, he visibly lowered the level, like the water level of the planet. So of course Utgard Loki's like, okay, you can just take the fucking hammer and go.
Yeah. Like, fuck, I was just trying to get rid of you, but now I'm actually concerned.
At least I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure it was Mjolnir. Why did they
Let's see.
go to do this?
Now, why are they going to see? Okay.
Okay, it was an old woman, and the order was the opposite of what I said. I think, or no, I just mixed it up completely. It's the order is drinking contest, cat, and then old woman.
Yeah, let me see here.
I think they were just like fighting, and then. Sorry, I'm having to read a fucking Wikipedia thing about it, and you know that this shit is like very bright and hurts my eyes. Uh, I think they were just fighting, and then Utgard Loki challenges them or something.
Yeah, he basically makes fun of them for being small because they're not giants. Oh yeah, so he basically goes, "You guys held up remarkably well. Leave and never come back," and immediately disappears.
Yeah. So the actual thing is that he goes, yeah, you guys did really well. It would be better for both of us if we don't meet again. And then Thor's like, okay, well fuck you then, and swings his hammer. But then Utgard Loki just disappears
Yep.
because he's a fucking illusionist. But anyway, like it's a great story. People should read that. You got any other topics?
Oh yeah, so he raised the Midgard serpent out of the ocean and into the sky.
Yeah. The fact that he even lifted one paw was just like, oh,
Oh,
that means he actually lifted a sizable amount of this fucking snake.
Yep. But yeah, no, I don't have anything else. I think we can wrap up for today.
All right. Thank you all for joining us. I hope that we will be back tomorrow. There's no telling if we actually will, but I hope we will.
Yeah, fingers
I want
crossed.
to continue. Fingers crossed. It depends on whether or not I can get any sleep tonight. We'll see.
Yeah.
Scroll down below the Twitch player for links to stuff. Click
Yes.
them. They're image links.
All right.
Yes.
You won't see a hyperlink. You just got to click the images, and then that'll take you to the thing.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everyone.